Oh,
no.
Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
You don't step on the one.
3, cha-cha-cha. Hey, my frame. Where's my pleasing arc? Spaghetti arms. Would you give me some tension, please?
Dirty Dancing, every teenage girl's favorite movie in the 80s. The love story, the lift, the summer magic. But behind all that charm, there were fights, injuries, secrets, and moments so wild they had to be cut from the film entirely. This isn't just a dance movie, it's a behind-the-scenes survival story. From real-life tension to scenes filmed in freezing water, here are 20 shocking truths about Dirty Dancing you've probably never heard. Fact 1. Swayze almost refused to work with Gray.
Back, easy. And turn down and lift. You learn that later. And come on. Down.
Before Dirty Dancing, Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey had worked together on the movie Red Dawn, and it didn't go well. Swayze found Grey overly emotional on set, often needing to stop scenes because she'd burst into giggles or tears. So when her name came up for Dirty Dancing, Swayze wasn't thrilled. In fact, during rehearsals, their tension was so bad that director Emil Ardolino had to pull them aside for a private session, where Swayze ended up apologizing for being too hard on her. That breakthrough moment is what finally sparked the chemistry audiences fell in love with. Fact 2, the movie was shot in 43 days on a tiny budget. Most fans don't realize Dirty Dancing was made fast and cheap. The entire film was shot in just 43 days with a modest budget of $5 million. To save money, the crew used 2 different resorts in North Carolina and Virginia to stand in for the Catskills. And despite the movie's bright, summery vibe, many scenes were filmed in cold, rainy weather with leaves painted green to fake summer. Production was so tight that they sometimes filmed scenes out of sequence with little to no rehearsal time. Yet somehow, all that chaos translated into magic on screen. Fact 3, the movie almost had a different name. Believe it or not, Dirty Dancing was nearly called something else. During early production, studio execs worried that the title sounded too suggestive and wouldn't appeal to mainstream audiences. Some of the titles tossed around included I Was a Teenage Mambo Queen and Dancing Hearts. Thankfully, writer Eleanor Bergstein stood her ground and insisted on keeping Dirty Dancing. It might have sounded risky, but it became iconic. And guess what? That risky title helped the film stand out. Instead of hurting it, it made people curious. It was edgy, different, and totally unforgettable. Fact 4, the famous lake scene was freezing cold.
Hold it. Good. Don't break. Don't break.
It might look like a warm, sunny day when Johnny and Baby practiced the lift in the lake, but in reality, the water was ice cold. The scene was filmed in October in Virginia, and the temperature of the water was around 40 degrees. Both Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey were shivering between takes, and their lips turned blue so badly that most of the close-ups had to be avoided in editing. The lake itself also started turning brown because of the falling leaves and rain, but the crew had no choice but to shoot. Fact 5, Patrick Swayze hated the iconic line.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
One of the most famous movie lines ever, "Nobody puts baby in a corner," almost didn't make it into the film. Patrick Swayze thought the line was corny and hated how it sounded when he first read the script. He even tried to convince producers to cut it out, believing it didn't fit the tone of the scene. Luckily, the filmmakers insisted on keeping it, and today it's one of the most quoted lines in movie history. Fact 6, Patrick Swayze did all his own dances and stunts.
With my body and soul, I want you more than you'll ever know.
Patrick Swayze wasn't just an actor, he was a trained dancer, martial artist, and stuntman. Every flip, jump, lift, and spin you see in Dirty Dancing was performed by Swayze himself, with no stunt doubles. Even more impressive, Swayze was dealing with a painful knee injury during filming. He pushed through swollen joints and intense pain, especially in the lake scene and the final dance, just to make sure the performances looked real. Fact 7, the crawl scene was completely improvised. One of Dirty Dancing's most memorable moments, when Johnny drops to the floor and Baby crawls toward him while mouthing along to Love is Strange, wasn't in the script at all. Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey were simply warming up during rehearsals when they started messing around. Director Emil Ardolino loved the spontaneous chemistry so much, he decided to film it and include it in the final cut. Fact 8, Dirty Dancing was based on the writer's life.
Come on, baby.
Many fans don't realize that Dirty Dancing is semi-autobiographical. Screenwriter Eleanor Bergstein grew up in Brooklyn in the 1960s, spent summers with her family at Catskills resorts just like the Housemans, and she was actually nicknamed Baby in real life. She was also an accomplished dancer and even participated in dance competitions at those resorts. Several moments in the movie, including the tension between the working-class dancers and wealthy resort guests and the abortion subplot, were drawn directly from her own teenage experiences. Fact 9. Jennifer Grey was 26 playing a 17-year-old.
Next to me, she leads me to moonlight.
Jennifer Grey looks so youthful in Dirty Dancing that most fans never realized she was actually 26 years old while playing the teenage baby. In fact, Patrick Swayze was 34 during filming, playing a character in his mid-20s. Despite the nearly 10-year age gap between Grey and her character, her looks and energy made the performance totally believable. Fact 10. The cast stayed at the resort during filming. To help build natural chemistry, the cast and crew actually lived on location at the Mountain Lake Lodge in Virginia while shooting Dirty Dancing. This wasn't just for convenience. The director wanted the cast to bond the same way the characters did at Kellerman's. They ate together, hung out, and spent nights dancing off camera, which helps create those authentic, intimate moments you see in the film. Fun fact, Mountain Lake Lodge still offers Dirty Dancing themed weekends for fans today. Fact 11. Dirty Dancing was almost released straight to video. Believe it or not, studio executives at Vestron Pictures had so little confidence in Dirty Dancing that they considered skipping theaters altogether and sending it straight to home video. They feared the film would flop, thinking it was too sentimental and too risky for mainstream audiences. But after a test screening brought audiences to their feet, Vestron changed its mind, and Dirty Dancing went on to become one of the biggest sleeper hits of the 80s. Fact 12. Patrick Swayze wrote one of the songs. Most fans don't realize that Patrick Swayze wasn't just the star of Dirty Dancing. He also wrote and performed one of the film's most memorable songs, She's Like the Wind. Swayze originally wrote the song years earlier for another movie, but it was rejected. When Dirty Dancing producers heard it, they loved it and added it to the soundtrack. The song became a hit and is now one of the film's most iconic tracks. Fact 13. Jennifer Grey almost quit the movie.
I'm sorry about the way my father treated you.
During the early days of filming, Jennifer Grey was so overwhelmed by the demanding choreography, long hours, and her rocky relationship with Patrick Swayze that she seriously considered walking away from the project. Tensions were high, especially during dance rehearsals, but director Emile Ardolino sat her down for a heart-to-heart, convincing her to stay and reassuring her that she was perfect for the role.
You couldn't have picked two people better to tell the story of Dirty Dancing in terms of their chemistry together, which I remember Emile Ardolino thinking, perfect.
Thankfully, she agreed and ended up giving us one of the most iconic performances of the 80s. Fact 14. Dirty Dancing was banned in some countries. Even though Dirty Dancing feels like a feel-good romance, it quietly tackled some bold topics for its time, especially the abortion subplot involving Penny's character. Because of this, the film was banned in countries like Ireland and Cuba when it was first released. Censors believed the storyline was too controversial for audiences, despite it being handled subtly in the movie. Over time, however, the film gained cult status worldwide. Fact 15. The cast threw dance parties every night. To build chemistry and blow off steam after long days of filming, the Dirty Dancing cast would regularly gather for impromptu dance parties at the resort where they were staying. These informal hangouts created the natural bond you see on screen and helped make the party and dance scenes in the film feel so authentic. Many cast members later said those nights were some of their best memories from the entire shoot. Fact 16. Lisa's Hula Hana song was totally improvised. Remember the hilariously awkward scene where Baby's sister Lisa performs a strange little song called Hula Hana at the talent show? That entire performance was improvised by actress Jane Brucker. She made it up on the spot during rehearsals to amuse the cast and crew. The director loved it so much, he told her to perform it on camera. Jane even earned a songwriting credit for it in the film's credits. Fact 17. The famous lift was practiced only once. One of the most iconic moments in Dirty Dancing, the final lift during Johnny and Baby's big performance, was only rehearsed once before filming. Jennifer Grey was so nervous about doing the lift that she refused to practice it during rehearsals. She and Patrick Swayze tried it once in the lake scene, then performed it for real during the final scene with cameras rolling. That genuine mix of excitement and fear you see on Grey's face, 100% real. Fact 18. Patrick danced through an injury. While filming all those intense dance scenes, Patrick Swayze aggravated an old football injury in his knee. His knee would swell up so badly between takes that production sometimes had to stop so he could ice it down. Despite the pain, Swayze powered through, refusing to use a dance double. If you watch closely during some scenes, you might even spot a slight limp. Fact 19. Dirty dancing was a real thing. The term dirty dancing wasn't made up for the movie. In fact, in the 1950s and 60s, the phrase was popular slang in some parts of New York and the Catskills for the risque, up-close dancing teens and staff members would sneak off to do at resort after parties. Screenwriter Eleanor Bergstein had attended those exact kinds of dances as a teenager, and when pitching the movie, insisted on using the phrase as the title to reflect those secret, rebellious nights. Fact 20. First film to sell 1 million on home video. Dirty Dancing didn't just crush it at the box office, it made history when it became one of the first films ever to sell over 1 million copies on home video, VHS, in the US. At a time when most movies made modest video sales, Dirty Dancing's passionate fan base bought it in droves, turning it into a pop culture phenomenon long before streaming or DVD collections existed.
Head up. Lock your frame. Lock it. Lock. Look, spaghetti arms.
And just like that, we've lifted the curtain on 20 Dirty Dancing secrets that'll make you see this classic in a whole new way. From off-screen drama to on-screen magic, no wonder it became a legend. If this recap gave you the time of your life, hit that like button, subscribe for more untold stories from your favorite classics, and tell us your favorite Dirty Dancing moment in the comments. We're watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Stay nostalgic.